Brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet.
Hi, I'm Don from 1A Auto. I hope this how-to video helps you out. And the next time you need a part for your vehicle, think of 1AAuto.com. Thanks.
In this video, we're going to show you the whole process for removing your strut. And if you're replacing your struts with unloaded struts, you'll need to transfer the spring, the old spring, over to the new strut. We show you that, which is also the same as if you wanted to replace your strut mount. In these vehicles, they can rust out sometimes. Tools you'll need are jack and jack stands, 10, 12, 14, 17, and 22 millimeter sockets. You'll need a ratchet and a breaker bar or a pipe for some extra leverage, spring compressors, a flat blade screwdriver or a small pry bar, and a torque wrench.
Locate your brake line clip that holds your brake line up against the strut. It's a 12 millimeter bolt. And we're removing that. On this side of your strut is a 10 millimeter bolt that holds on your ABS sensor, and you want to remove that as well. Your two strut bolts are 17 millimeters. And I'm going to use a wrench on one end and a breaker bar on the other.
Okay, so you can see it takes the breaker bar and pipe, just get some extra leverage to get those broken free, but then they come out pretty easy after that. So we'll kind of fast forward through it.
The upper strut is held in by three 14 millimeter nuts located triangle up top on your strut tower. You use a 14 millimeter to remove them.
And again, we'll fast forward here a little bit. You can see that those bolts should come off pretty easily.
And I'm going to support the strut as I take off the last nut. It doesn't fall out. Pulling the strut out to the front. On the top of the strut, I'm going to remove the black plastic cap with a flat blade screwdriver, and below it I'm going to find a 17 millimeter nut, which I'm going to leave alone for right now. And I'm going to set up my spring compressors.
Just fast forward here a little bit. Just compress the spring a little bit. You want to keep some of the pressure on the top strut mount so you can get the 17 millimeter bolt off.
On the spring, I can start to remove the 17 millimeter bolt or nut inside on the top of the strut.
Okay, once you get that nut loose, you just want to loosen it up. You don't want to take it all the way off yet. Now, and then you're going to compress the springs further, then take the nut all the way off.
And remove your strut now.
Okay, speed up here. So if you're replacing your spring, just showing you, pry it off. and then you could take that, if you need to replace that rubber bellows, you just take that off, put a new one on, and reassemble. Make sure you seat the spring down in correctly. Put your strut mount on and start the bolt or the nut that holds that on, and then tighten it up preliminarily. And you can see we're just putting all our old stuff together. This car is actually in good shape. It looks like it actually has newer struts on it, so we're not putting new items on it. We're just taking everything apart and putting it back together to show you. Once you have that bolt secured on there on the shaft of the strut, then you can decompress your spring.
Put the strut back in, going in from the front to the back, feeding it up, making sure that I don't pinch my brake line with the ABS line. When I've got it somewhat close, I'm going to feed up the screw bolts in the strut plate, and they only go in one way, so you'll have to turn it until you get the match. Start the nuts to hold it in place. Reinsert the spindle into the lower strut. Raise your control arm till your bolt holes line up.
And just fast forward here as we tighten up those nuts and bolts preliminarily.
I'm going to torque these bolts and nuts to 100 foot-pounds. Resecuring the brake line with the bolt, the 12mm one. The ABS sensor is the 10mm on the other side.
And speed up as we tighten up the top bolts between 25 and 30 foot-pounds.
Just make sure the upper strut bolt is tight, or nut is tight. And resecure your cap.
And we'll keep the speed going as we put the wheel and tire back up in place. Hubcap and lug nuts, tighten them preliminarily.
And with the car back on the ground, a little bit of pressure on it, or weight on it, I'm going to use the 22 and a torque wrench that I've set to 100 foot-pounds, and torque them to start panel.
We hope this helps you out. Brought to you by www.oneauto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet. Please feel free to call us toll-free 888-844-3393. We're the company that's here for you on the internet and in person.